Welcome to another episode of React tutorial series. In this video, we're going to learn about conditional rendering. Sometimes we may need to show or hide one component depending on some conditions, right? So for that, I'm going to create a component called user. So as you know, that component in React is just a function, and as I'm using TypeScript, I have to add one return value. User is returning nothing but some empty div with the text user. Now if I use the component user over here, it is just showing user. Now in the last video we learned about props, right? So we can pass some props. Let's say we can have one property called name, and that is going to be a string, and you can pass the name property. Name equals to, let's say the first username is Bob, another user is Alice, right? So instead of printing user as a name, I can just print name, right? Now let's render it. We are showing Bob and Alice, two users. All right, so this is pretty simple user component. We are showing it twice with two different names. But suppose I want to show the second user, that is Alice, depending on some conditions. So the condition can be anything, but let's say I'm having one flag called flag, one boolean flag, right, equals to true or false depending on your condition. If the flag is true, then only we want to show the second user Alice, otherwise we don't want to show it. So how to do that? So in React, when you write one JSX component like this one, line number 12 to 15, we are emitting one JSX element, right? Inside that, if you want to write some JavaScript, what we do? We use curly braces. Inside that, you can write any JavaScript expression. So if I add an expression like flag, so this flag is already there as a boolean, right? Okay, there is a compilation error because I have used let instead of const, right? This flag is one expression, and if the flag is true, then we can do something, otherwise we can do something else. This is called a ternary operation in JavaScript. If you use this question mark, then you can use the ternary operation. So here we are saying that if the flag is true, then print A, otherwise print B. Now if I check the browser, I can see that A is printed because flag is true here. So as this code inside this curly brace is a JavaScript, instead of printing string, you can print component also. And that is the power of React. You can mix JavaScript with the JSX tags creatively, and whatever you think of, you can do that. So if the flag is true, then you print this component, otherwise you just don't do anything. So what will happen here? If the flag is true, we are showing Alice, and if the flag is false, then we are not showing anything. So see how simple React is. It is just plain JavaScript. This is one way of writing a conditional component. And also you can think of something else, like suppose I can use one variable called let conditional component, right, equals to undefined at first, then conditional component equals to, I can use this user depending on the flag, right? So if I write if flag equals to true, then conditional component is going to be Alice, otherwise conditional component is going to be Bob. Now that we have the conditional component variable, you can just print that conditional component. Now what is the error? Okay, it is not necessary to define it. I'm going to remove this. And what is this error? Okay, I don't need to compare boolean with true and false. So now what will happen if the flag is false, that means the Bob will be printed. Okay. And if the flag is true, the Alice will be printed. Alright, so you can also use a short circuit AND operator. So if the flag is true, then we print Bob, right? The flag is false, we don't print anything. And if you want to write a different function to render a component conditionally, that is also possible. So for example, I'm writing a function called show user or render user. Okay, render user depending on some flag. So I'm going to pass one flag that is going to be boolean. So if flag, then you render it. Now that I have written this function, I can just call this function inside the curly brace. Okay, I'm going to pass flag. What is the error here? Okay, I have to return it. Of course I have to return it. Return, and as I'm using strict TypeScript, I have to add the return value, that is going to be j6.element. And suppose the flag is false, then we can just return one empty component, empty element. Now let's see, I'm setting boolean flag as true. Now the component should be rendering. It's rendering. So the bottom line is React is just plain JavaScript, mix of JavaScript and JSX tags. You can write your code in plain JavaScript however you want. There's nothing much to learn in React actually. You just learn JavaScript properly and you're good to go. Alright, if you have any questions, then please let me know in the comment section. And if you like the video, please hit like, and you can also subscribe to this channel if you want to learn more about JavaScript, React, and the entire JavaScript ecosystem. Thank you so much for watching this video. We'll see you in the next episode.